Does the Australian government think it knows better for kids than their parents do in Australia? So on December 10, 2025, Australia may apply a social media ban for under 16-year-olds or something like that. The scary thing about it is, where's it all going to end? Is this leading into a social credit score system where if you piss off the government, well, you go to book a flight, you can't book a flight, you can't get a hotel room, your money won't work either for at the 7-Eleven, you can't get the basics of life. You may end up on the street as punishment. You agree with the party, you agree with the state, or the state will shut you down. Senator Pauline Hanson put out a media release on 14 November 2025, and it's headlined as Australians' data security at risk from net zero. Now, Senator Hanson goes on in this media release saying Communist China will end up holding the majority of the world's data because of its cheap electricity fueled in part by Australian coal. This frightens the hell out of me, and it should set off alarm bells in the minds of every Australian. Senator Hanson goes on to say, I don't think most Australians give much thought to what happens to our private information when it's stored offshore. True, I don't. Australia's privacy laws and security measures only apply in Australia. My prediction is that Australia, with the highest electricity prices in the world outside Europe, will see its data centres go bust, leaving no choice for Australian businesses other than to store our sensitive data offshore. I think that says it all. Well, I for one can only hope that over the next few elections, one nation gains the balance of power in the Senate and tries to rein in some of these maybe smug socialists and their ideas for the future of Australia. Because at the moment, the future of Australia looks pretty grim. I mean, up here in Laos, it's really happening. The 5th bridge over into Thailand, the 5th Friendship Bridge, and there's a lot going on. It's growing, but when you go back into Australia, it's almost like the opposite. You just hear doom and gloom. That's all you really hear. And at least one thing that's good, and people may not like me for saying this, but it looks like the Reserve Bank may be raising rates. May be a very, very good thing, because things are just getting too expensive in Australia. People are struggling. There's YouTubers and that who spin off like rage baiting about oil and gas companies, or they call them fossil fuels companies, which is an incorrect term, I think, but oil and gas companies maybe not paying tax. Then they'll use like some of the Gulf countries as an example. Well, if you're going to use Gulf countries as an example, then also apply the immigration system that those countries use versus Australia's immigration system. And the distance between the two is vast. Those countries are smart. Australia, not. I've seen what a good immigration system looks like, and that's not what I see in Australia. And I'm a pro-immigration guy. I think Australia should have more immigration. But gaining Australian citizenship or getting that passport, that's a totally different story. We should be turning the Australian passport into gold. Plus, the Trans-Tasman Travel Agreement may have to be revisited, because how does that benefit the living standards of Australians? Look, thanks for watching, and subscribe, bitches.